Okay, so let's talk about a story. But not just any story. We're talking about one so powerful, so magnetic, that it couldn't be contained. It literally escaped its homeland, crossing borders and languages. It's the story of the ultimate bad deal. A bargain that promises you the world, but costs you everything else. But before we get into the weeds, I've got to ask you something. What would you trade for everything you've ever wanted? I mean, really think about it. Unlimited knowledge, endless pleasure, absolute power. What's your price? Just hang on to that thought for a minute. Because that question, that's the ticking heart of what is, without a doubt, the most infamous pact in all of literature. You've probably heard of it, the Faustian bargain. And on the surface, the premise seems almost deceptively simple. You trade something of supreme spiritual importance. Yeah, we're talking about your soul, for all the good stuff here on Earth. It's a concept that has been haunting our stories for centuries. And the terms of the deal? They're crystal clear. No fine print. On one side of the ledger, you get it all. Forbidden knowledge, every earthly pleasure imaginable, even supernatural powers. But on the other side, the price is absolute. When you die, your soul is no longer your own. This isn't just a plot device, you know. It's a deep, profound moral allegory. I mean, think about it like this. It's basically the worst high-interest loan you could ever imagine. You get all the cash, the power, the pleasure right up front. But the collateral you've put down, it's your very soul. It's just a perfect metaphor for that timeless struggle we all face between what we want right now and what the long-term consequences might be. Now, we usually associate this whole story with Germany, right? With the legend of Dr. Faust. But is that really where it ends? Is it only a German tale? And that's the big question, isn't it? If a story is that powerful, if it taps into something so fundamental about being human, can it truly be stuck in just one culture? Or does it belong to all of us? Well, it turns out the answer is right next door. So let's head over to Poland and meet their very own diabolical scholar, a man named Pan Twardowski. See, deep in Polish folklore, there's this classic tale about a brilliant scholar who sells his soul for knowledge and power. Sound familiar? Yeah, but his name isn't Faust, it's Twardowski. I mean, look at this. The parallels are just undeniable. You've got a German scholar and a Polish scholar. Both make a quote-unquote diabolical pact. Both are chasing the exact same things, knowledge and power. And the price? You guessed it, their soul. It's the same story engine, the same blueprint for temptation, just driving a different cultural vehicle. But here's the really cool part. Twardowski's story isn't just a carbon copy. It's like it took the source code of the Faustian bargain and then infused it with all this rich local Polish folklore and mythology. It just goes to show how incredibly adaptable this theme is, how it can plant roots in totally new ground and just flourish. So why does this happen? What is it about this story that resonates so deeply that different cultures feel the need to create their own versions? Well, it's because it holds up a kind of universal moral mirror to all of us. The reason this story travels so well is because it's not really about a specific guy or a specific devil. It's built on a foundation of themes that every single one of us understands, no matter where we're from: temptation, ambition, and the consequences of the choices we make. Over time, the story got deeper. It grew from a pretty simple cautionary tale, don't mess with the devil, into a really complex exploration of our own inner demons. The real battle, the real conflict, it moved inside of us. And that shift, that move from an external devil to our own internal struggles, well, that's what blew the doors wide open and made the story a global phenomenon. It created what you might call a universal grammar of temptation. By making the struggle internal, the story became a blueprint that cultures all over the world could use to explore their own anxieties about ambition, morality, and what it means to be human. So this character, this diabolical bargainer, whether his name is Faust or Twardowski or something else entirely, he becomes this universal archetype. He's a symbol of our inner conflicts, our moral struggles, and he's a cautionary figure for the ages. At the end of the day, the story's real power is that it's a mirror. It forces us to look at ourselves, our own moral dilemmas, our deepest desires, and all those messy inner conflicts. It reflects our own potential for incredible greatness and for total ruin. And that brings us right back around to where we started. Look, we're probably not signing contracts in blood with any demons anytime soon, but this story forces us to ask a tough question. What are the small bargains we make every single day? What little compromises do we make? And what's the real ultimate cost? That's definitely something worth thinking about.